So today is the feast of St. Barnabas, and I personally love reading about the saints, and many of them were not perfect, and they all have certain attributes that we call upon. For example, you lose your keys, you misplace your keys, you pray to St. Anthony. Or if you want to sell your house, you buy a little statue of St. Joseph and bury it. Or we appeal to St. Blaise every year to protect us from every disease of the throat and every other disease. But we've got to realize that when the saints were alive, when they were living, they weren't perfect people. That happened only after they died. And some of them, of course, had highly developed virtues, but once again, none of them were perfect when they lived. For example, St. Jerome, one of my favorite saints, lived around the 4th century. He did great things for the church. He gave us the first translation of all the scriptures. St. Jerome is the one that developed Mariology, what we believe about Mary to be. But he had a bad temper. And St. Jerome was oftentimes argumentative. St. Thomas Aquinas, the great thinker of the church. St. Thomas ate too much, and he was morbidly obese. And for example, St. Francis of Assisi, he loved luxury. When he was young, he loved that luxury. His father was very rich, and it wasn't until he converted that he became poor. So once again, saints don't become saints until after they die. And that brings us to St. Barnabas today. He went on a journey, an early evangelical journey with Paul, St. Paul, and St. Mark. And while they were on the way, they got into an argument according to the Acts of the Apostles. Paul got mad at Barnabas because Barnabas wouldn't follow Paul's thinking. He wouldn't follow the rules. Paul wanted to evangelize to everyone. Barnabas wanted to limit it, so they got into an argument. Then they got into an argument with Mark, who joined them along the way. Because Mark didn't want to go. So what happened is that the three of them broke up. Have you ever gotten mad at somebody? Have you ever lost your patience with someone? Have you ever gotten into an argument? Well, based upon this saint and others, it's very clear that the Lord forgives us, our behavior, and even overlooks them. Well, if that's the case with the saints, maybe one of us sitting here will be a saint one day.